Yo, welcome to The Big Take. I'm your host, John Red, here to bring the biggest take in professional open bodybuilding. And yet again, we got Tonio the Predator Burton on the channel. Thank you again for coming through. Really, really appreciate the support. This channel is at its beginning stages, and stuff like this just gives me motivation. You know what I mean? I feel like I must be doing something right, at least.
Yeah, you saw it. You keep it real.
Yeah. Quick backstory, and you already know this, but people watching don't. I started my channel after about 2 weeks after starting my channel. You started following me on Instagram, and I'm sure you remember the conversation. I was like, I just started it. You know what I mean? So thank you for that. But anyways, how you doing? How's the family? How was Halloween? I'm sure it was hectic to a degree with all the kids.
Oh yeah, I'm good. Everything's getting better. Halloween, man, I'm glad it's gone.
Yeah.
Keeping up with the kids, running around across the streets, and yeah, it's just one of them things where it's like we could just hand out candy next time.
Yeah. Did you dress up?
No, not this year.
Yeah, my kids are obsessed with Ninja Turtles, so I did like a little Leonardo joint, and I mean they freaked out when they saw me. But real quick, I saw you posted that video on Instagram with your son. Is that the boxer or the football player?
Oh, that's a football player.
That's the football player. I figured because you said off season and he was in the gym and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how's the football season going?
So their season just ended. He started out as a receiver, but then they moved him to DB and running back.
Did he like that?
So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
He liked it. I mean, that's the same positions I played when I was in high school.
Okay, that's fire. Yeah, that's awesome. I literally cannot wait until my kids get into sports. They already do stuff right now, but my daughter has to go up a year until she can do like soccer. We're doing basketball in December. And she'll be able to do like cross country and stuff. She does gymnastics right now. But anyways, I want to go ahead and get to the main thing that I want to talk about, most important thing. And first of all, glad you're doing well. Clearly you're good after the accident because you're in the gym. And from the looks of things, it was just cosmetic. But I want you to break down in as much detail as you'd like to what went down.
Got you. So I went to the Legion Sports Fest check-ins. Was taking pictures with the athletes, talking to everyone. I was talking with Bob for a little bit, and then someone had came up to me and questioned me about my helmet. I had my Predator helmet with me.
Your what?
And the Predator one.
Oh, okay.
I think I have it. Oh yeah, I have it right here in the closet. And they were asking about the helmet, and I was like, it's actually just for a show because it's not going to protect you if something happens. Mm-hmm. So anyway, Street Vibrations was the upcoming weekend. And as I'm leaving check-ins and I'm leaving out the intersection, it's me and another car driving side by side. And we seen the car smashing through the parking lot. And when he seen us coming, he hit his brakes. We hit our brakes too because we thought he was just going to roll out.
Yeah.
And we seen him stop. So then we started to accelerate again. And I probably, from what they said, I was going about 30, 35. And the dude tried to beat traffic that was coming. So when he turned, or when he was coming out of the parking lot, he was trying to turn left, and he ended up turning too early, and he met my front tire, and I met his front bumper. So I seen it happening. I tried to brake. The bike just started sliding. So I seen it, and the next thing I was just trying to react. So as I hit his car, I tried to grab his wheel well so I didn't go over the car. And I missed that, and that, man, I just remember like rolling, and I remember looking up, and I seen a car driving on the side of me, and it was two people. They were looking down at me as I'm looking up at them, and and I'm just rolling, man. There's nothing I was able to do to stop it. And when you fall, you're supposed to just go with it as much as you can.
Yeah, go limp.
And so finally, when I came to a stop, I remember being face down. And I was looking the opposite direction, and then I turned my head, seen the car in the middle of the road. So the dude didn't run. And then I remember looking back the other way, and then that was it. And then
What kind of car
I heard
was it?
a Subaru Crosstrek.
Okay.
And I was laying there, and I remember hearing someone saying, "He's dead. He's dead. He's just been laying there." And I heard that, I kind of like jumped up, like, "What the fuck?" Like, ooh. So then I get up, and then I take my helmet off, and I remember a truck rolls up to me. He's like, "Dude, like, that muscle saved you. You know, anybody else, like, they'd have been ate up."
I was thinking that. So you flipped over the car.
Yeah, I was over the car.
In the air, over the car.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, and
So have you been in a wreck before? On the
not
bike?
like that, nah. Like, I fell on a bike before because of things we do, whether it's wheelies or, just driving fast. Like, I've been down on the freeway before, too, which made me more comfortable on the bikes. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, then off-duty paramedic comes up to me. He was like, "Hey, we should sit down." And I was like, "I'm looking for my phone." And then he was like, "We should sit down first because do you know what just happened? Like, you shouldn't like be walking right now. There's no way." And I was like, "Yo, my son's at school. I'm supposed to pick him up. I need my phone." So I'm looking around for my phone.
Yep.
And he was, "Okay, we'll find your phone, but I need you to sit down." So I go take a seat, and
were you dazed at all?
Nah, I didn't feel like I was there. Everything was brighter.
Fucking beast.
So I even walked down to the bike because I'm looking for my phone, and the dude who hit me, he was crying already. He's like, "Are you okay?" Because I was
You hit
laying
the
there,
right
so
guy.
it work. And so I pick up my bike, and I'm like, my phone's not there. Lay the bike back down, and then I sit on the curb, and then that's when the ambulance and the police get there, and I'm telling them like if I could use their phone because I need to call my son. No one's picking him up. So then I'm laying down, and they put me on the stretcher or whatever. They put me in the paramedic. They let me use their phone. So finally I get in touch with my woman to call my mom to pick up my son from school.
Mm-hmm.
So once they got him, then I was good. I was, not worried. Laying in the back of the ambulance, they're giving me all types of medication. I think it was called ketamine or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And he was like, "It's called the I don't care drug." And I was like, "Why?" He was like, "You'll see."
You found out,
Once
huh?
it hit, yeah, he's like, "You're in pain, but you're like, yo, I'm good." You know what I mean? So I didn't care about a single thing. And then it came back, and then they're like, "We're going to give you a little bit more." So they gave me ketamine with fentanyl.
Mm-hmm.
But when they said the fentanyl, I looked at him like,
whoa,
"Give me what?"
Whoa now.
He was like, "This is the real stuff. This ain't the stuff that, give people on the street or whatever." But once they gave me that, I was kind of like, "Oh shit." Like, I felt like we were moving. I felt like I was floating. I just didn't feel anything, any pain or anything.
And it was just completely a drug like that, I imagine. Because, when you hear about stuff like that and you see what people put themselves through with drugs, you're like, it's got to be good, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
so
right.
was it kind of an eye-opener?
Yeah, and you know what? Like, we talk about people who, like, have addictions and do the stupid shit they do.
Yeah.
But even, like, the paramedic, I was like, "Yo, is this the high that they chase?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I was like, I see why they do it.
Yeah.
Because you legit don't feel nothing, and it's just crazy. But get to the hospital finally, and they had me in a room like they were prepped for surgery. Like, they're ready to go. And they checked my body. I had no breaks, no sprains, no fractures, no tears, nothing. And they told me to go, "You weren't wearing any protective gear, were you?" I was like, "Well, I had helmet, gloves, and my chest protector." And
just
they made a
lean
good
muscle,
play.
buddy. Lean muscle.
And I was wearing like windbreaker sweats too, so those just ripped right off. So I had my ass cheek hanging out in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
But they made a point because they were like, "Oh, imagine if you were just wearing, full gear for when you fall. You would just be walking away right now. You wouldn't be in here."
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Okay, that's fair." After they wrapped me up, so it was both my legs that were burned, my whole arm. So part of it's still wrapped, but it was all the way up here, all the way down to about here.
What is that called? Road
rash?
Road rash. Okay, that's what I was thinking at first.
But then my hand, all right there. And then my forearm, but you can't really see it wherever it's at. But yeah.
You have to get some tats redone, huh?
Oh, yeah. They cleaned it off, rewrapped me, and then The process after that was the worst because, man, like trying to move around, getting in and out of bed, trying to like lay down, find a comfortable spot. Like I had to like lay with my left leg elevated because I had a 3rd-degree burn on my left glute.
Mm-hmm.
My right arm, I had to sleep with a pillow under me, so it wouldn't. I wouldn't roll over on it on my tricep.
Mm-hmm.
My whole left foot on the outside of it that got burned, and each burn. Yeah, so lucky. Each burn was to the 3rd degree, by the way.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah,
so the degrees with burn is just like murder. Like 1st-degree burn is the worst. Like 1st-degree murder
3rd degree is the other way.
Other way. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So all 3rd-degree burns, some second like mixed into it, but there was no light burns on anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but the process, it was like 2.5 weeks I was out the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time was when it was bad because I'm not in the gym. And they gave me, what was it? It started with a T. I forget what drug it was. But when they gave it to me, no pain, didn't feel anything. And I'll take one in the morning. I'll do one midday, one at night. And then after that 2-week mark, after about a week and a half, I'm noticing I'm not feeling as much pain. No, it's 2 weeks. I'm not feeling as much pain, but I'm still taking these pills. So I would wake up and automatic, I'm taking 2.
Yeah.
Midday, automatic, I'm taking 2. And now I'm mixing Tylenol with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't until about the 3rd week, I was just kind of like, yo, why am I taking these?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel shit, but I'm still taking these damn things.
Yep.
And that's when I knew, like, this was getting bad. I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't around people. My little dude was in school. The other one's boxing. And, one's playing football, so they're busy. So I'm not having them around.
Mm-hmm.
And woman doesn't live in town.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, it's just me. And I'm getting high as shit off these drugs. And it got to a point to where when I noticed it, I remember talking to my coach because, he had a rough past. And he gave me a heads up about it. And I'm glad he did because I wouldn't have known. And I've never been, on any type of opiates like that.
Yep.
So I took him back to the pharmacy so they could recycle. And even though I was still feeling slight pain, like even with headaches to this day, I would not even take Tylenols. Because it was it's some scary shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but after that, I
didn't even think about that aspect, with the drugs and stuff. And you take a different individual and put them in that same situation. Somebody that's more prone, more of an addict mind state, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It happens all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that can be a slippery slope. Have you seen Guy Cisternino several years ago talked about when something happened with him and he had to take Oxycontin? And when he got out, he was like, it was rough. But, guys he's pretty he's like hardcore.
Right,
Right. So
right.
he's like, I just locked myself in the fucking room, bro. You know what I mean? He's like, I just locked myself in the room. And he said he went through this and that. But, yeah, I'm glad you beat that. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, it was, bro, it was fucking with me. So I'm like, yo, bodybuilding ain't it no more. I lost all this weight I gained. Yeah, I watched myself get smaller. My appetite was going away. And, I had people, my woman, Justin, my mom, my sisters, they're all calling and checking in on me and everything.
Yeah.
But venting isn't something, we necessarily do. So it's kind of like I'm good, It could have been
Just like
worse.
how you didn't really tell anybody, you didn't really showcase the fact that happened to you. And obviously I don't know you, but I've seen enough, through social media that you're that guy that's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to take my lick. And you know what I mean? You're not going to be looking for attention and whatnot for something like that. Not going to take a hospital picture or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that's that feel sorry for me or, put me in the spotlight right now. Yeah. I mean, I have people who talk about what they want to see it. So I guess at some point I'll, show what everything looks like.
It's good for your brand. It is.
Right. And, but no, bro, like, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about the gym anymore. Wasn't eating like that, nothing. And then I told myself it was a Friday I came around and I looked at myself in the mirror and I even told myself like Monday you're going to the gym. And I started making my way to the gym. both legs still wrapped up. I can't put a shoe on, so I have to wear, my slides.
Yeah.
So I'm walking around barefoot if I have to, and I would.
Is there a part of you, because you have kind of like that, from what I know about you, from what I've seen, I feel like something like that, especially physical, might kind of, not that you would enjoy it, but was that part of you as an athlete, as a competitor, like, I'm in here right now with this? You know what I mean? That was like, you know what I mean? Like when Kobe would get hurt and push through it and stuff like that. And I think that with some guys, especially really competitive guys doing physical stuff and physical competition, and sometimes it can be to their detriment. Something like that kind of gives them a little bit of fire, coming out of that hole. Did you have any of those feelings during that time and right now also?
Oh yeah. Once I got into the gym, I was quiet about it when I first got back into it, because I wanted to get my size back up. And once I was, okay, I'm back, I'm doing it, I thought about that a lot. And even, not only like my woman or my mom and my coach, but they were like, yo, what you just went through, a lot of people who would get hit like that, that's their excuse to, stay off season or,
now
this is what I didn't do well. You know what I mean? And the more I think about it, I'm just like, damn, like, I'm really in here doing this. And that's when I knew, and I have proof to back up that my why I do this is bigger than myself. You know what I mean? And like when they called me about the bike and they told me it was total, and he was like, yeah, you're not getting a bike back. Like, it's gone. Frame is cracked, like whatever. And I was like, how bad is it? They sent me pictures, and then they were like, we're surprised to hear the voice of the person who was driving this. Because he was like, I'll show you a picture of the bike real quick. But,
let me see. I got to see that.
Bro, if the gas tank wasn't right there, you wouldn't know what it was. Yeah. What the front of the bike looked like. So that's the bike head on, and then that's it sideways. Mm-hmm. So the whole front end is pushed in, you see it. And he was like, where the handlebars are, those are gone. And he was like, that's where your head is at. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Are you going to take a break from the bikes? Did this have any kind of was it kind of an epiphany kind of thing? Because if you think about like professional sports, I know that I don't have a specific example, but in bodybuilding, I don't know who it was, but they're like in your contract, you can't ski. You can't, you know what I mean? So, so we can protect your body. If you're going to get hurt, it's going to be doing this because it's money on the line, yada, yada. So how do you feel about motorcycles now?
Honestly, I'm not going to get another bike.
Yeah.
And because, like, you're right, I have sponsors who believe in me, but more so I have young ones who look up to me.
Yeah.
And that could have been it, and I haven't said it to anyone else, but after it happened and I was there, I felt like I had a choice that you could stay here and because the stressors that I was going through and everything that I was feeling, even thinking about my little brother and everything, it was like, that was my chance. Like, you can stay here and, you don't have to deal with the bullshit of this world. But you leave everybody behind, or, get up and keep doing what you do, be better at what you do. And that's what picked me up. You know what I mean? That's what made me not quit. So,
now, did you lose just one brother?
Yeah. So I lost my younger brother, following the same things that he's seen, all of us do. My mom's FaceTiming me. My mom's FaceTiming me right now.
Yeah. Go ahead and answer if you, I mean, that's mama. Look.
Mom, where you
at? I'm doing a podcast, Mom.
We ain't coming down till Tuesday, because there ain't no school.
Okay.
So what podcast you doing?
It's a bodybuilding podcast. We're talking about the accident.
Oh.
You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Just enjoying this podcast with your very experienced, successful son. I'm sure you're very proud of him. What was that?
She said, "You think?"
Nah, I don't even think. I know.
Well, okay, you can get back to work. Nice talking to you.
All right. Sorry about that.
All right, Ma. Oh, that woman's crazy. But
Anyways,
what was it?
we're talking about your little brother.
So I lost my younger brother. Like I said, him seeing the things that, growing up, what we saw. So he's just followed the wrong tracks. Mm-hmm. And then I lost my best friend, who I was, we did it all together. Real close. So I call him my brother too. He, come over for the holidays.
Okay.
When my mom made gumbo, he's over there eating bowls with us. So
Okay, that's
two
what
people close to me.
I remember seeing a post where I think you said brothers, which is why, and that makes complete sense. Excuse me. So yeah, I bet that had. I mean, I think I'm blessed in the fact that I've been exposed to a lot of death in my life, but outside of one death that was close to me, everything was like old age, right?
Right.
Grandparents and stuff, and it started at a very young age. First open casket, and then my entire family were all from New Orleans. So after a family member dies, we do the funeral and stuff, and then we come back home and we just party. It turns into a big celebration, and it gets to a point where you're not numb to it by any means, but you almost gain an appreciation for it. The other death that I experienced was my best friend in the 6th grade. Just died by a freak accident. He was on a swing, and they had like a boat trailer. He's on the swing. He kicks the boat trailer. It starts rolling down the hill, and he runs down the hill to try to stop it. And when he gets in front of it, this is a kid in the 6th grade. He gets smashed between a brick wall and the boat trailer. And his little sister, who was a few years younger than him, with the adrenaline stuff, pulled it off of him. But it punctured his lung and stuff, and it would have probably been better if it would have remained there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was the only one that was just like out of left field. But I can't imagine, I have 2 older brothers. Man, I can't imagine losing someone that close that wasn't supposed to go at that time. You know what I mean? Literally, statistically, not supposed to leave at that time. But yeah, I imagine when you go through something like that with the bike and stuff, that's gotta trigger some things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean it's definitely a wake up call. Like I said, I have people here depend on me. I can't be reckless like that. And
100%.
You see it like when on Instagram, I'm always talking about like demon time or, it's demon mode or whatever. I think God came down himself and was like, hey, we're going to redirect that. You know what I mean? So, which also led to me wanting to cut my dreads off too and just start everything fresh.
Okay, because I wanted to ask about the dreads. I used to have dreads myself. My dreads were all the way down to my lower back, top of my butt. And I cut mine right before my daughter was born. I kind of said right when she comes in, and then just me with my job and being in corporate America and stuff, yada yada. I was like, it's about time I kind of finally got my stuff together, and I was like, I love them, but also the upkeep and stuff, and having to wrap my hair up in the shower and this and that.
Oh yeah.
My oldest brother, who does all this camera and stuff and fills the void that exists for me being not technically savvy at all. He just cut his recently. For his own reasons also, after growing them for a few years. So how was that cutting the dreads? It
hit me after I see myself in the mirror without them.
Yeah.
Because, we believe that, your hair is strength. That's wisdom. That's, you know, everything you've been through it's in your hair.
Yeah.
And
Especially with dreads.
yeah, and we'll cut them too. You know, if we lose someone close, you cut them. You start over.
Oh, wow.
And,
I haven't heard that.
yeah, that's something else that, you know, that we do in our family as well.
Where does that come from? Is that
you
just
know
within
what?
your family, or is that?
No, so I have an older
I know they got
cousin.
some Rasta stuff and whatnot that
Right,
that is,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it's that right there. It's in a sense, you want to leave that negative behind. You know what I mean? And like even the shoes that I was wearing from that motorcycle accident, got rid of. You know,
Interesting.
I will never put that Predator helmet on again. The gloves are gone. You know what I mean? You just don't want to carry that with you. My dreads were a part of that. You know?
Yeah.
And do I plan on cutting my hair shorter? No, I'm gonna let I have good hair. I'm gonna let it grow.
Yeah.
So it'll get long again.
Your son's getting.
I don't know
that
if
hair
I'll
from
dread
you.
it again, but we'll let it do its thing. You know. But yeah, so that was the main reason of cutting my dreads. You know, it's I feel like I got a second chance. I know a few people know I got into an accident, but no one knew how bad it was. Because again, like you said, I was nonchalant about it. It's kind of like, oh, I'm here, and that's all that matters. I don't need to hang on to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So with all the medication and stuff you were getting, did you experience when you got off of it? Was it very difficult? And you know, when you go through something pretty traumatic, not as traumatic, I imagine, as losing your brother and whatnot, and then you're under the influence of something, especially farm grade, powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Did that make it more difficult coming out of there? Obviously, bodybuilding, that's your rock. You know what I mean? That's big. So I know that helped. But did you have dark thoughts and stuff coming off of that or during that time?
Not like I said, my worst thoughts really was not bodybuilding anymore. I just felt like, yo, we just wasted this off season. You know what I mean? Maybe this was God saying this ain't it. We got something different. But at the same time, again, I'm getting hooked on damn drugs, and God's not going to make you fall for something so negative if that wasn't the right path. You know what I mean? So I felt like having, you know, that belief and then my circle around me is what really kept my head straight to, you know, stay here. Because like I said, you know, Justin was hitting me up every day, bro. Like, if I don't hear from Justin, I'm thinking he's dead. That's how much he hits me up. And
that's good.
You know, pushing, hey, you know what? It's all gonna come back. Don't worry. Like, we haven't even started doing, you know, certain things yet, and you were growing. Like, it's all gonna come back. We just gotta eat and push even harder now. And so, like that fire you was talking about, hell yeah, you know, it's different. And I see the comments, and the people they talk about and all this shit. I'm just like, yo, once I get back on the scene, I'm fucking shit up. And, you know, I see the same way Nick Walker going through what he going through. People saying he washed up. And it's just one of the things where I'm like I want to bang heads with him to be like, yo, we got to bring shit back. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm in the gym, bro. Every day I'm hyped. The people love it when they see me in the gym, you know. They get energy off of it because it's different. You know, I feel like I could be my old self when it comes to me being in the gym. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, of course, in public, hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah.
But in that gym, oh yeah, let's get this shit going. You know, let's see if them hands work. And I can release that, and that's why I call it my demon's playground. You know, the other side can come back out. But with the drugs though, bro, like I said, if I didn't get rid of them, there was no way I'm staying away from them. And so it's like, it's weird because you even get sick, you know, get sick off of them when you're not taking them. It's like your body wants them. And it's telling you, hey, you're in pain, go take them when you're not. You know, you need it, you don't. So like I said, it gave me a different perspective of people who have addictions. You know, even if it's just to weed, you know. I've tried weed before. I didn't get addicted to it, but all my family does it. You know what I mean? And I don't know why. But now I see, like, okay, it does get a grip on you, and it will hold you. So I mean, it's on you.
All of the drug experience that I had when I was a lot younger, I'm very fortunate that you know, in like 2012 or so, I remember I tried like a Percocet or a muscle relaxer or something, and it just didn't do anything. So that, that was easy.
Yeah.
Back in like 2016, I had a friend that had had lean or whatever, had the real stuff.
Right.
And I remember trying that. And you're younger and stuff, and you see all the rappers do it. You're like, yeah. Pink Sprite and all that stuff. And I remember trying it, and not a whole lot. And I was driving home, and I literally just like felt just numbness. Like I had zero emotion, and I was like, this sucks. You know what I mean? I was driving home, and I was like, I don't feel anything. And they have some people, either you have a very addictive personality or everybody's going through something, mind you. But either you're going through something that's hitting you so hard that you want to feel that numb. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I remember just being like, I don't care about anything right now. Not to the point where I'm not going to drive home to my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife. But I remember driving home like, no siree. So I'm very grateful that, the experiences that I had didn't grab me like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, when you get, like I said, farm grade, I know it goes the same thing with PEDs and stuff. Farm grade, that's the real deal. They're making that stuff in a lab, you know what I mean? Millions of dollars behind it. They're going to make sure it works. You know what I mean? So,
and they're going to match it with your body weight. So you got someone who's not as big taking more than what they should.
God.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think part of me, I'm like, yo, this is karma from, what we used to do back in the day, which was, we get pain meds or, they call them fizz pills, but ecstasy. You sell it, you want, Molly will sell it. And seeing that you help, we were helping someone's addiction, it's just like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, we help ruin some lives out there, and I'm telling you, like, the weirdest, like flash came over to where I'm like I rethought about everything. And I'm just like, yo, I need to step back, and chill and like really just put more focus into, family and bodybuilding. Cause people ask me or, they'll tell me I'm a bodybuilder. I'm like, I'm not a bodybuilder. That's just what I do. You know what I mean? And, that's why I act different. Like people who've been around me, they know if I miss a meal, I'm just like, all right, like I'll catch the next one. And I'll eat this one later at night. You know what I mean? I'm chill. Backstage, I'm chill, whatever. I don't take anything in the sport serious to where I can't be friendly. And, and I think that's different with most bodybuilders to where backstage is like, oh, it's game time, don't talk to me. And, they miss a meal, now they're dicks about it for the rest of the day. Or if they're lifting, they can't stop and talk, all that bullshit.
Yep.
And I don't know. I'm chill. I relax.
So I imagine you attribute that to your upbringing and things that you went through, some of the stuff that you've been talking about. I know you went to Thug High. Yeah. They called it Hug High. Y'all called it Thug High. So, I mean, I think that's a very, if you don't mind, if you could give me a run through of your background, because, especially within this sport, there aren't that many backgrounds like that. Now, I know Nathan D'Asha went through some shit. Nathan D'Asha, that's a wild dude.
You can hear it the way he talk.
Oh, yeah. Nathan D'Asha is crazy. Have you heard about did you see the podcast where he talked about he got in this knife fight? Or the guy had like a sword. You saw that? And he was talking about he had a meat cleaver and was jabbing it. He was like, I was carving him. I was like, God, please. Stabbing him in his face and stuff. Then he talked about his boy, like, breaking his ankle, and he's, like, laughing at, So, Nathan's a wild guy. If you don't mind, I'd like to hear about it.
Oh, man.
Now, I'm sure there's a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like, just growing up, so my older sister, who's black, she's in a Mexican gang. She's in TJ. Mm-hmm. And
TJ stands for?
Tijuana.
Tijuana, okay.
Yeah, city of Mexico, right? And just seeing everything they would do, because they were always around. All of her friends called my mom. You know what I mean? So they're always at the house, and it just when you see that, it's cool. You know, this is what kids are thinking, and this is why
100%.
I'm enjoying. This is cool. Look at what they're doing, and you know, at a young age, I was introduced to seeing drugs, and you know, where we grew up at, we have a park called Pat Baker, and it's the hood. And we're sitting at the park playing, and you see, you know, your older relatives running to cars, you know, giving them what they want, collecting money. And then you're seeing these same people pull up with the Caprice Classics on, you know, 28-inch rims with the loudspeakers and girls and the jewelry. And it's just like, damn, like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Times we'll walk to the corner store, and there was this dude there. His name was, they call him Ray. And I remember I walked into the store. He asked me what my name was, and he paid for me to get a haircut. And anytime he would see me, he would just, you know, just throw me cash, whatever. And I remember one day he asked me to hold a pack of cigarettes for him. So I did. You know, not thinking nothing of it, I hold a pack of cigarettes. Someone else came up, and they were like, "Hey, do you have the pack of cigarettes that Red gave you?" I said, "Yeah."
A little
And I gave it to
grooming
him.
there.
Gave it to him, and I remember they gave me money, saying, "All right, thank you for you know, giving it to me. Here's this. Go get whatever you want." So I'm like, "Oh, cool." So me thinking nothing of it, I went to the store, did whatever I wanted, and he told me, he said, "You do more like this, you can make more." And that's when certain things started. And again, seeing family run to cars and, you know, give drugs, and they're getting money for it. Yo, can we try this? So we would, you know, whatever. And so I think that was just the start of it right there. And then, like I said, my sister being in the gang and hearing and seeing the things that they would do. I remember our house getting, you know, shot at by a gang called MVR. So many just back and forth things, to where walking down the street wasn't the best thing to do, you know what I mean? Unless you had people with you. And as I got older, I started hanging out with the little TJs, which was West Los. And the things with Hispanic gangs, and that's different from, you know, black gangs, is Hispanics are very organized. You know, they don't just go and act like animals. They're going to act real chill. And if someone comes that doesn't fit in a crowd, you can tell they're tatted up, and they showing them something bad's going to happen, and they don't care. You know what I mean? And so I would just hang out with them. That was like the weekends, I was with them. During the week, when, you know, it's school, then I'm with, you know, family. And we'll chill, whatever. And then I started going to Trainer Middle School. And that was when things went bad, to where I was in a group called Bottom Boys. It was everybody from Louisiana. And we weren't a gang, we were a group. And what I mean by that is we didn't go around starting stuff. We didn't bang colors. We wore black, but that was just to tell the difference, you know? And it was just black tall tees. That was it. And
R.I.P. to Tall T.
Yeah. And at Trainer, it was very separated. And as much as they want to say, like, racism and all that shit didn't exist, in middle school, it did. To where they had us on teams like Polaris and Firebirds. But on one side of school was your Hispanics, and on the other side was your whites and your blacks. But we had some Hispanics over there, but they were the ones that were not, you know, affiliated or bad. So they kept us away from each other from the start of school to the end of school. And the days we did get the bling, we'd play basketball, we'd play football. But it always turned into a fight. You know, someone started banging something, and, you know, you got to protect your own. I loved it. Fighting was, I love fighting, you know. There was something about it that after it happens and you talk about it and everybody's telling you how, yo, when you did that, that was cool. Like, that's what's up. And then now everybody's trying to be around you, because not out of respect, but damn, I'd rather be with you than against you.
Yeah.
You know? And what's bad about that is it develops fake friendships.
Yep.
To where the trust isn't real. You know what I mean? And now, if shit goes down, do they really have your back, or are they just looking for you to have their back? And I've been in that situation plenty of times.
Yep.
And I started to get closer and closer with the Hispanics. And no one knew I would hang out with them. It was just something that, we'll do with just us. I was also cool with the Polynesians, and I'd done a lot of things with them as well, which is why so getting into a tribal tattoo.
It's crazy. I mean, so this is the West Coast.
Yeah.
Y'all got very dynamic gang situation out there,
which makes it harder because you have Tongans who are TCG, which is a Tongan Crip gang. You have Samoans who are SOS, which are Bloods. You have Sereños. You have Nortes. Then you have Bishop Street Blades. And you know what I mean? So the list just goes on. TJ, Maravilla, 18th Street. So it just goes on. It's hard to tell because what makes it easy is knowing your area, knowing your neighborhood. Because on my street that we lived on, you go to the next street, now you have your Tongans. And not that there was beef or anything, but you just didn't go to that street starting shit. And then you go a little bit further down, now you have TJ Alley, which is, if I walk outside my house and I get in the middle of the street, I can see TJ Alley. And they call it that because that's where all the TJs were. My aunt lived over there. And we would go over there. We'll stay the whole weekend because the ice cream truck driver would come. And he would drive drunk. He's serving his ice cream drunk. And while they're distracting him, we're jumping through the front and we're taking whatever he has in our register. And he never caught on because he kept coming back. So, we did what we had to do.
He said, I thought my count was... Nah.
Yeah. Oh, man. I seen it all over there. Fights. I see my older cousins fight. And this is still me young, I remember my cousin Ralph. He was fighting someone. And my older brother told him, you going to fight. And if you lose, you and me going to fight. And that's when we were introduced to, you don't back down from shit. And if you lose, you're just going to get your ass beat. And you're going to get back out there and fight again. So you win or you win. Your choice. But, so there was that I was introduced to. My mom was a single parent. She was raising all of us solo. And I remember getting whatever we wanted as kids. I remember when Christmas came, you couldn't even see the tree because she had them covered with gifts. And never knew where this money or anything was coming from. But again, my mom, she hustled. She did what she had to do. And some people might say it's bad parenting or whatever, whatnot. But she was, and very few that I can say, is a woman that taught a man how to be a man. You know what I mean? And she showed us love, but it wasn't love like most people get, where it's hugs and kisses. Good morning, here's breakfast type of, love. You got a roof over your head. You got clothes on your back. I'm feeding you. I'm risking my life every day. That's love, And there was times where I did pickups. I did drop-offs. I exchanged money, and I bring it back to her. You know what I mean? And again, it's not her being a bad parent, but the type of environment we were living in, if she would have showed us that nurturing love, we'd been fucked. So instead, she was a woman teaching young men nature, and that's not.
That's man, what you about to say? Nature.
You know what I mean? So we didn't get nurturing. We got nature. That's what we got. And that's why I tell people, man, a lot of these people can walk in the jungle that we roam. And even now, then I still drive by, and I reminisce. Just like remembering all this shit that I've seen over there and that we done or whatever, whatnot. But fast forward, high school. In high school, I was the worst. It was one of the ones where weekends was like, hey, who we going to go fight this weekend? We'll go to parties and house parties. They're like, hey, your name is Chug? I'm like, yeah. They're like, nope, you're not coming in.
That was your nickname, Chug?
Like, yeah, I got named after my uncle. And he was actually killed by skinheads in Louisiana. Oh, wow. But, so I let them know, if I can't come in, I'm shutting it down. And we'll either let ourselves in and we pick somebody out, or, they let us in there. And then when we're ready to go, we pick somebody out. It was just, man, it was the nature of the beast. You had to be aggressive. Or if you were soft, you got picked on. You know what I mean? It wasn't more so that I just enjoyed it so much to where I'm like, I just got to do it. It was, I don't have no problem doing it. And, I'm about that life, so I'm going to show you. You're not going to step up to me, you know what I mean? Because if one person does it, then the next person feel like they can, and now you got a slippery slope, right? Where everybody's going to try it. And so you have to, nip it in the bud.
Yep.
I was different, though. I hung out with Mexicans, Sureños, they wore blue. I was cool with the Tongans who wore blue. But, man, people will tell you no one wore more red than I did. That was me. I stayed in red. And not even that I was a blood or anything. It was just my color,
Yeah.
I remember my principal would call me and a few other friends every Monday. Hey, do we have to have more school police up here? And because the weekend just passed and we heard what happened. Nah, we don't know what you're talking about. We ain't do shit. And the next thing you know, you got a gang of people pulling up to a school looking for us. And so I don't want to say I was a gang member. I was gang affiliated, but I wasn't a gang member. I was a badass kid. I just liked doing dumb shit.
Almost an honorary member.
Right. It's one of them ones where it's like, no, granted, I can't say too much on, but when I've done things with, my Hispanic friends, that's when it was like, okay, this is real life. This is what people talk about in movies and what they like hearing rappers talk about, but, they try to live through them. I don't listen to rap music like that. Anyone who knows me and been in the car with me, they'll tell you I listen to slow music. I'll listen to Mexican, Spanish music, before I listen to rap and talking about, killing this, that, and this. Now, in the gym, different story. I can beat that. I'm taking that on the weights, though. But as far as, like, just, I don't glorify it. And this is why I talk to little kids now. Because they're going to get sucked in the same way my little brother did. He seen the good. He didn't see what was going to come with it. And once he, he even said it, once he shot his first pistol, it had him. He was wrapped.
Yeah.
Seeing the power that it has. And not the power to kill, but it'll make 10 people freeze, when it's just you. And he loved it. And I knew he was too far gone. So at this point, it was just, trying to teach him how to be smart about it. And the difference was he was caught by people that he trusted, his own gang. And I remember hearing about everything, and this is kind of what transferred my energy from, like I said, I was, football. I was ready to go testing for actually the police department. And this happened to my little brother. I was in a relationship, and I remember the day it happened, the girl she had actually ghosted me the same day after it happened. She knew about it. Wow. And that's when I went cold. Like, okay, I'm going to be a whole different person now, a monster. And
she ghosted you after your brother passed?
The same day.
The same day. And he died by gun violence? Yeah,
he was shot 5 times in his back. So, yeah, they said he was fighting first. And me, I know how my little brother is, and no one could fuck with him with the hands. So I feel like he was, taking advantage of the person, and someone came behind him and did what they had to do.
Yep.
Which is part of the game, but at the same time, it's part of the game to get your get back too.
Yep.
So I'll leave that there. But when after he goes, 10 days before my birthday, my best friend Ryan goes. And so Ryan went first, and then my little brother. And then another dude we went to school with, Fidel, he also died behind guns as well. And the way his story happened was crazy because they were at a club, and he actually went with the person, and that person and someone else were fighting, and he pulled the gun out and dropped the gun. Fidel starts laughing. And he was like, man, y'all not going to keep fighting, just trying to calm it down. And the dude picked up the gun and shot him. The way we found out was Snapchat. Someone recorded his body on the ground bleeding, and they captioned it. That was a loud pop. And and the people that were there who seen who it was, and then they did what they did with that. That ain't something you broadcast like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
at least find out if the person's okay first.
Yeah.
Call help first, something. So a lot of my friends I've lost, it's all been to that. And I think that's why, like you were saying, you know, you don't become numb to it, but it's one of them things where it's like, damn. Because, I mean, family that I've lost after that, my aunt, uncles, it's kind of like, this is why we live. We live to die, you know what I mean?
It's a process.
It's up to you if it's going to be fast or slow, you know? Less natural causes, but I don't know. I don't remember, like, when my grandma passed, I didn't cry. Not too long ago, lost a friend. I didn't cry. It was more so like, damn, I can't find the words for you. You know what I mean? But I'm here if you need anything.
Yep.
But then I'm looked at like, why he not crying? You know, something ain't right. You know,
Yep.
I remember, people tell me to go to therapy and everything, talk about it all, but it's kind of like, crying ain't gonna bring him back. Me being mad ain't gonna bring him back. You know, it sucks. But, life goes on. You know, if you need somebody, though, I'm here. You know, and, but yeah, bro, I think the way I am now, where I smile all the time. I get people who talk shit and I make jokes back. And people who do come at me sideways, I laugh about it. And it's not because I'm this, bad person, but at the same time, it's like, you're not going to take it to where I'm going to take it. So I'm going to just try to diffuse it. Right? You know what I mean?
Range within conflict.
Right. So I don't need to walk around, with my chest, big and bragging about how life was or the events that I've done. I know it. I'm not proud of any of it. There's been a few people who I've talked to and I've actually broke down about it,
Yeah.
People talk about it and they want to act bad and talk all their shit. And it's just like, dude, you're a poodle. I'll destroy you.
Yeah.
We weren't taught to fight and shake hands after. You fight, you better do something to them because they're going to come back. You know what I mean? So we avoided that at all costs to what we could. Like I said, I had uncles tell me, if you're going to do something, do it solo. You can't trust anybody. And this is the type of life where, I was raised in, not to trust. Love is not good. It's a weakness. It creates a sad picture in the end. And, we were taught to be cold. If you cried, and go over there, you're going to cry, Go play with the girls,
Yeah.
But if you whoop somebody's ass, now you're praised. Now you're on this pedestal for the day. Now everybody's drinking around you. So we were taught to be aggressive. We were trained to be aggressive, even with family barbecues, get together. The cousins, we fought the uncles, and it was bad too. Like, granted, we're not trying to knock each other's heads off, but you're going to feel these hits, you know what I mean?
But you're still cousins fighting uncles.
Right. And
Yeah.
I remember police coming and they're like, hey, we were called because there's a brawl. And my mom came out and was like, that's uncles and nephews going at it. And we were all in the garage looking like, because we thinking somebody going to jail.
Yeah.
But we end up going back out and, getting back at it. And I remember the police walking up and they're like, yo, like, they really just play like this? My mom was like, let them know, like, this is what they do. So, again, it was just one of them things, like, I'm different. And learning to control that anger, because it gets to a point of hyperventilating. Like, you get mad, you black out, you don't care what's happening. You cross that line. This is your fault.
Yep.
But then I had kids. So that's what kind of pulled me away from doing all the dumb shit and giving people rides to do things and kicking in doors with friends and, robbing people or selling things and all that shit. Still to this day, movies that are like about cartel, I won't watch. South Central's a good movie. Menace to Society is a good movie.
Yeah. Great movies.
But if I watch it, when it's time to go to bed, I'm thinking about it. I'm dreaming about it. I'm reliving shit. And there's been times where, I've been woken up out of my sleep and they're like, yo, you're shaking. And I remember telling, my woman, if I'm ever shaking, wake me up. It's not a good thing. Like, I'm having a bad dream. You know what I mean?
Get me out.
Right. And it's bad to where when I'm sleeping, I'll fight while I'm sleeping. Like, literally, I'm kicking or throwing punches, And women wake me up like, hey, you about to hit me, Like, I remember I've kicked before, and they're looking at me like, yo, you just fucking kicked me. I'm like, yo, my bad. I was fighting somebody.
Yeah.
So, that trauma's real, they people think it's a game. Like, they joke about it. They they glorify it. I'm like, yo, stop teaching these kids this. You know, my little dude, he can play Grand Theft Auto, he can play Call of Duty, he can do all that shit. But I also taught him, don't fall for the dumb shit. None of that is legit.
Yeah.
You know, it's fake. This is not how that works. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I went through what I went through because now I can talk to my little ones.
Yeah.
You know, my nephews, my nieces, and I can feed that to them. I'm their blueprint, so why they don't got to do dumb shit.
Yeah.
And same thing like what my older brother became for me. You know, he pulled me to football, and he showed me what I can be. You know, he went off to college. Granted, he came back, but he did semi-pro. He pulled me in a semi-pro and played with him for a few years. And that right there was the start of me being able to go talk to kids and show them something different.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I hate seeing people talk about it or talk about, you know, they're from somewhere they're not and to sound cool, or they fight and they do this or they act bad online. And I'm just like, dude,
yeah.
I wish I can say I'm from Beverly fucking Hills and I was spoiled and fed with a silver spoon and come from money. Mm-hmm. And the people who get that, they think it's a bad thing. You know, they try to say that, you know, no, my life was rough. You know, I'm like, fuck that. So I want to tell people my shit was easy, you know, but, you know, even to this day, you know, I remember Legion Sports Fest, the year I won it. Mm-hmm. That week I actually got into a fight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I fought 3 dudes.
Where at?
I was in front of a Walmart, actually, in Reno.
Yeah, you got to paint that picture.
Bro, it was one of the ones where I remember sitting there and I told my ex, you know, I don't want to go to the grocery store. Let's just DoorDash like I always do. Mm-hmm. And she insisted. I did the pickup thing. All we got to do is pick it up and we can drive off. So I'm like, all right. Well, there's 3 dudes walking across the street and they're walking in the middle of the street. Like in the middle of the fucking street. And I'm like honking a horn. And so 2 of them move out the way and they're like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, y'all ain't got no bumpers on your ass. Y'all in the street. They're like, we moved. I'm like, but your friend is still in the street right now. And so he moves over, and as we're driving, he spits in the car. And shut up, bitch. And
goodness.
That was it. I just remember telling her to stop the car. She was like, nope, like, I'm not stopping. And I jumped out the car. So she finally stops. I was already out the car, and I walked up on all 3 of them, like, you know, all of you right now, let's get it.
I bet you got out and there was like, God damn, what the fuck was that?
Looked at the friend like, yo, really? But
that's who you spit on, dude?
Yeah, the dude. So he spits, and when we get out the car, I walk up on him. I'm like, yo, you just called me a bitch, and then he was like, no. I said, who said it? And then he was like, were you the one driving? I said, oh, so she's one. He said, yeah. I slapped him, open hand, you know, just slapped him, and his friends got ready. So now I'm ready, and they're not doing nothing. They're just standing there, and then the dude walks up to me, and he was like, what are you gonna do, boy? And I lost. I pushed him.
Well, let me show you, buddy.
Yeah, he falls on the ground. So I'm like, oh, this is weak. So I'm just talking now. Well, my ex walks up, and one of the dudes go, oh, look, your little girlfriend's here to save you. And as soon as he said that, she smacked him. And he threw his hands up. Yeah, he throws his hands up to her, and I, like, move her out the way. And he was like, bro, what the fuck? She just hit me. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not going to let you hit her back.
Yeah.
So, but at that point, I knew. He's embarrassed, so he's going to do something. This friend doesn't want to back down. I just pushed him. It's going to happen. So I remember telling her to, like, walk back to the car. So we're walking back to the car, and I hear someone say they're coming. So I'm walking backwards. So I'm telling her to get in the car. She's refusing. I'm like, yo, get in the car so I don't have to worry about you. And they ran up on me, and I just started tagging them. I gave one a 1-2. He hit the floor. One hit me in the chin and took off running. And then when I went to chase him, I remembered, like, there's 3 of them. And I see him at the corner of my eye, and he threw a punch, and I ducked. And I grabbed him. He was so small. So I grab him, I turn him around, and I pick him up. And I dip him. But he hit the ground so damn hard, I scared myself because I'm like, he's not breathing. So everyone stopped, and we just stared at him until, I was like, fuck. Like, I just, you know. And then everyone froze, and, like, everyone just looking at him, and he gasped for air. So I'm like, okay, he's good. We back at it. And the dude was bleeding. He wiped his blood all over the car or whatever. I started giving one of them, the one that hit me, who ran off, I caught him, but I started giving him his credit. You know, I was like, yo, he was the only one to hit me. The rest of you guys, you know, bitches, whatever.
So you can still move, even. I know you're bigger than you. What year is this?
This was 22.
Yeah, so regardless, you're much bigger than the average man, especially proportionally, but you can still move.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I used to box all through elementary, middle school, high school. I had to stop because I was doing too much fighting outside. But even now, then, I mean, I'll still throw my hands, you know, just to, like, at a bag. Or, you know, even shadow, you know what I mean? In the mirror getting it. I feel like even being as big as I am, I'm tested even more. You know, if I fell for every time someone, you know, had words for me, you know, the amount of fighting, I wouldn't be able to bodybuild. But, you know, now it's just to a point where I smile and I just tell them, yo, whatever you went through today, I'm, you know, hoping it gets better for you. Yeah, you know, but this ain't what you want to do.
You know, people that have any experience in fighting, they know that, you know, big muscles doesn't necessarily translate. Usually does not translate to being able to strike, being able to have enough stamina, this and that. And obviously you just have people that are dummies regardless. But I can see how, and I'm sure the times that you've got into it, like that last one, I expected to move that quick. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's just one of the things, like I said, I don't broadcast it. I'm not going to talk about it. And honestly, it was recorded by some people I didn't know. And all I'm thinking about is y'all hope they don't post it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want that, you know, rolling around.
Yep.
And when, I don't know, but like I said, I'm still friends with, you know, those people who I used to do things with. He actually just called me the other day, actually. We talk. We talk a lot. And it's always, we better not see you in the hood anymore. You know, you made it.
Yeah,
you know,
good.
Stay away from here.
Yep.
So I always get the phone call to him, just, you know, checking in and making sure everything's good. I'd say the bad part, though, about that life is it stays with you. You know, even I went out to the club one time, and this is another part of the reason that led to me cutting my dreads. Go to the club one time, and a gang, some members from LA came down, and from Oakland, and we're in the club, and it's just me, and my friends had left. Well, one dude comes up to me, he goes, "Come take a seat with me." And I'm looking at him like, I don't fucking know you. But now I'm getting ready, because now I'm like, okay, we about to fight in here. And he goes, "Recognize what this is and come take a seat." And I'm looking, I'm like, the fuck is he talking about? And I follow him into the VIP area, and he was like, we checking in. And now I'm thinking, like, who the fuck do they think I am? Like, you know, I'm not in that. And he said, from one G to another, real recognize real. So I'm like, he thinks I'm active. And he was like, "You good, your woman's good, no one's gonna mess with you guys, we just tapping in." So I'm like, all right, how the hell do I get us out this situation? You know, and we take a few shots with him, let him know that we cool. Like, you know, we ain't got no issues with y'all, like, you know, we good. And she said she had to use the bathroom, and we went to use the bathroom, we left. She was like, "Why are we leaving?" I said, that was not a good situation we were in right now.
So what do you think led him to that? From seeing you in the past, or?
Nah, just my look. I mean.
That's interesting.
You know, dreads. I'm wearing my grill. I'm wearing my chain. Being black is just one of the things where it's more than likely I'm going to judge you by how you look. I'm going to judge this book by its cover instead of, you know, playing it safe and let them get too close type of thing. And, you know, I've gotten it a lot, and I still get it. You know, when I have my dreads, you know, certain situations I won't talk about because I want to put certain people on the spot or anything. But
yeah, of course. You
know, even them, where it's like when they tell me how their family feels about me because I remind them of what they've seen in the past. You know, it's kind of like, damn, I can't run away from it. You know, and I think that's what now led me to cutting my dreads. But when I started to own it on Instagram, where I started talking my shit, you know, I'm gonna be me. Not going out doing anything stupid, but you already think bad about me, so why I gotta act proper with you?
Yep.
You know, I'm not gonna cuss you out. I'm not gonna rob you. I'm not gonna fight you, but I'm not gonna change the way I move now. This is how I talk. You either like it or you don't. You know, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with everybody. Anybody who got questions, I'm gonna answer it. You know, that's one thing I can say in this industry or people that I know. I've never, sugarcoated anything. You know, I didn't beat around any bush. I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Yep.
You know, whether it's backstage at a show or we, in the house, like it's gonna be real. And I think that's why so many people in the industry do like me, because I don't lie about nothing. I'm open with everybody. I'm cool with everybody. You know, I'm gonna give you a smile. I'm gonna respect you, because at the end of the day, you don't know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You know, man, think of that movie Fit for Murder with Craig Titus. Nobody knew he was like that.
Yeah.
So you talking, bad to someone like that. Look what he could have done to somebody else. So, I never will look at someone and be like, oh, they're hella small. I can get one up them. And they might be crazy as hell. I'm not even going to put myself in that situation.
Yeah.
So I respect everybody. The same way I would the CEO, I'm going to treat the janitor the same way.
Yeah. And that's the right way to be. Literally as a man. You know what I mean? Respecting everyone from the bottom up. You know, one of the, and this is just like a small micro aggression, reaction, whatever you want to call it. But especially, with other black people, black men. You know how we just have a natural, not even when I'm driving the car, sometimes I'm driving in the car and I just look mean. You know what I mean? I'm mugging. I'm not mad.
Right.
It's just like my natural face. It just looks mean. You're driving and you turn, you look at another brother in a car next to you, and he look. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. And and I didn't grow up anything like you did, but still, I still feel that energy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just like a natural, and it not necessarily just within black men, but mainly. You know what I mean?
Right.
You look at another brother and you have that, and your initial thought is almost like, you know what I mean? Combative, right? And I made sure that now, whether I'm in Walmart, and I've spread this out to all cultures, all races. If I'm in Walmart and I'm pushing my cart and I turn the corner and I pass another brother and we make eye contact, I always nod and say, what's happening? You know what I mean? Every single time, because there's so many, just like I said, just micro interactions that can be positive. You know what I mean? But, that whole thing said, even sometimes, and this is on a different note, but if I turn and it's a woman, and I'm just got to get better at this, smile. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether she 80 years old, whether she 12, you know what I mean? Turn, if you make eye smile. You know what I mean?
Right.
You see another man, acknowledge his presence. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing weak about it. You know what I mean? It's actually a strength. You know what I mean? I'm letting you know, I'm communicating with you every single time. Positive reaction. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? You know what I mean? And move on. I just think, little things like that can, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously there's stuff that you can't get, but you know what I mean? Things can build up and they can spread, and small stuff like that can help in general. But it's interesting shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like you said too with the interactions. I noticed it too, like when I walk past certain people and like they say what's up, the head, what's up, they do the head nod, and you do it back.
Yep.
But then where I'm from, if you do it the other way.
Oh, really?
Now, okay, where you from? Because now this is something different. Yeah, this is more of a, hey, how you doing? Like
that's interesting, because my natural, when I was younger, I used to do that, but there's and obviously there's gangs everywhere. You know what I mean? But if that did exist, I didn't know. When I was younger, I did that, but as I got older, that just felt more like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Ours is, I live in Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've been here since 95. Whole families from New Orleans. I'm the only one that wasn't born there. But in Tennessee, at least when I was, early college, when I was younger, when I used to go to clubs where it's a fight every single time. You know what I mean? The thing that the trigger word was "you straight." Yeah. Somebody come up to you and say, "You straight?" That literally means, do you want to fight?
Right.
You know what I mean? which is wild. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You straight. You might as well have just said, like, let's fight right now. You know?
Yes. You really want to do this?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And it doesn't even have to be. You know what I mean? I remember one time me and my best friend were just walking. We're in an apartment complex. And we see all of these guys getting into it, yada, yada, and they're talking shit. And then it's a big ass, this dude's probably like 6'5", you know, just looks like the guy that you would not like to get into it with.
Right.
Getting into it, then we pass up, yo, y'all straight, you know? And my homie, he's just wired differently, loves fighting, you know what I mean? Didn't go through the amount of turmoil that you went through, but he's just wired to go full tilt. You know,
Right.
started out as somebody that, you know, doesn't like to fight, but then a kid swung on him when he was little, and then it happened like twice, and then it's like, no more. So I can't count the amount of times I had to keep him from getting in a fight, but I was like, yes, we straight. We moving through, you know? We ain't got nothing to do with y'all. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? But, you know, it's unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is, you know?
Oh yeah, and I mean, you recognize it too. Like I said, when I used to kick it with all them, you know, we'd hang out to where when we would hang out, it'll be whether it's in front of a gas station or, you know, just on the sidewalk somewhere. You see, you know, people walk by, but you can look at them and tell, you know, okay, they live over here or they know somebody over here, but you know, they not, you know, in that life. So we wouldn't mess with them. But now, sometimes you do see people and you're like, you know, they walking a little bit too tough. And depending on how they acknowledge us, whether it's, like I said, how you guys doing, head down, or
yeah, my guy's just under 6'3", big, long, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
that look, always looking for it.
Chest coming up, right.
Yeah.
So it's one of the ones where, I mean, you recognize it to where, like I said, you don't want to be a bully. We was never known for being bullies. Anytime we got down, people asked for it. You know, when I remember being in high school and I was at a party at this girl I was dating at the time. I was at her party, and this other guy walks up to me. And he was like, "Hey, you straight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm chilling. What's good?" And he was like, "Look around." And then I'm looking around, I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "None of them." You know, I was like, "It's a bunch of Mexicans." Like, "It's good."
Yeah.
And he goes, "None of them were in the kitchen until you got here." And then I look again, I'm like, "Oh shit, they is getting close," you know? So I'm like, I bet. So I walk outside and I call, you know, my friends, and they all come. And then that same dude called all his friends. So now we're outside just chilling out there. And then I called the girl I used to date. I'm like, "Hey, who in there that don't like me?" And then she told me it was a gang called New Road Click, which are still around. And the guy's name was Playboy, rest in peace. But he comes outside and he's talking about this drama he has with me. I'm like, "Dude, I don't even know this dude." Well, one of them walks up, a little short dude. I think his name was actually Shorty. Walks up and we just surround this dude. We're just like, "Dude, you know, what are you doing?" And he tried to run. I remember tripping him and we jumped on him. The whole house comes outside. So I'm like, "Yo, it's more than what I thought was in there." So now we're in the street. It's a standoff. Everyone's talking. And see a dude in the back pacing back and forth. And I'm watching him because I'm like, he got some energy, you know? Like, that's who we got to watch.
Yeah.
Nothing's up happening. Well, remember, the old cell phones didn't have group messaging. They had forward texting where you get to forward the message. So a forward comes to my phone, and they're like, "Chubb and Playboy on site, you know, Tuesday," because Monday was MLK Day. Yeah. So that's how I remember. So Tuesday comes around, and I'm in my black sweats. I'm wearing my black hoodie, and I'm ready for war. You know, didn't see him. The bell rings, walk into class, and we just happen to walk into each other. And right away, he didn't say anything because I smiled at him. He didn't say anything, but as he's passing me, he goes, "You're a bitch for jumping my friend." So that's when we stopped. We turned around. I said, "Let's get it." You know, take off my hoodie so it doesn't go over my head while we're fighting. And we get down. End up whooping this kid. I end up running home because someone called me and was like, "The school police is looking for you because you broke his nose." You know, you can kill someone that way, and in some sense or in some situations, that's a felony. So my initial reaction, gotta go. Run home. Ended up going to my cousin's house, who was next door, just in case. And they called me back up to the school. Go back to the school. I'm told right away, self-defense. And they pull up the cameras, and they're like, "Dude, you could have walked away so many times." And they were like, "He fell on the ground. It looked like you wanted to get on top of him, but you told him to get up, and you guys fight again." And that dude ended up calling me and telling me to, the respect, because he never lost a fight. And so he gave me, paid me respect for that or whatnot.
That's pretty cool.
It's crazy, to get that. And I think back on it, just knowing the life that I was involved in. My friend, that dude actually ended up passing away though, because a group of Nortes seen him at a house party, and they walked up on him in the garage and they shot him while he was on the couch. Damn. And he was died instantly. So there was that, and then I had a friend. His name, we call him Damage, and man, dude had bricks for hands. He's broken them so many times, or fractured, whatever. But you don't go to the hospital, you let him heal on his own. So his hands just look so swollen. Just
scar tissue.
And just like he didn't feel anything. Like I've seen this dude punch doors and break them open. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just no feeling anymore. But he ended up passing away, and because one of our friends' sister or cousin dated someone from a different gang, and she called him and said that she got hands put on her. So we all show up. As soon as we get there and everyone's out the car ready to fight, they get out the car and start shooting. One of my friends, his hat, because he didn't wear the hat all the way on his head, it just sat on his head, Yeah. Well, he had his hat after that and it had a hole in it. So if it was all the way on his head where it hit, he'd have been done.
Damn.
And then they took Damage to the hospital because he got shot in his hip by SK. So I went in through his hip and out the other side, and they took him to St. Mary's, the hospital out here, but they don't have a trauma center, so they couldn't save him. Damn. We didn't know exactly who did it, but I remember a couple of weeks later, we had a party for my little cousin's birthday, and I'm doing security there, helping my uncle. And I'm sitting at the table just watching everyone dance and people coming in, I'm checking them or whatever. Well, I look over and I noticed a red rag flying in the air. So I'm like, okay, someone's, throwing up their set right now. And I look and he's looking at me. So I'm like, oh, who the fuck is this dude? So he walks up to the table. He calls me by my name. So like, he knows who I am. And he calls me out, wants to fight. So he tries to walk around the table and I just slid it out the way. Well, when I did that, one of his friends tried to come from the side and I leaned back because I seen him, I leaned back. So now in my head, I'm like, I'm about to get jumped. Well, one of my friends actually gets that dude. So now they're fighting. And me and this dude is fighting. And I just remember grabbing him by his neck with my left hand and I'm punching him with my right. And then this other security that was there grabs the dude, like comes in like rear naked, chokes him. And when I seen him grab him, I let go and I'm now hitting him with both my hands. And I noticed another set of hands. And this is probably the best story I have with my little brother, but I noticed another set of hands. And I look up on the table, and it's my little brother throwing hands too, And it was like a proud moment because it was me fighting with my little brother, you know what I mean? And they throw him out, and a dude comes in with the gun, or comes chasing us with a gun, but my uncle steps in front of him and tells them the police are on their way, and they ran off. Well, I remember getting a phone call from one of the girls that they were with, and they were like, hey, who fought him? And I was like, I did. And it was like, hey, like his eyes were swollen shut. Like, mouth is busted. Like he can't even talk right. And, I'm like, good. Like he started this shit. Well, come to find out, this was the same dude who got rid of my friend. Oh, and wow. I didn't know about it, but word spread like crazy to where, because Damage was half Tongan and Mexican. So you had Westlos, TJ, you had Dirty Mob, and you had TCG, giving me, respects for tagging this dude before he ran off to Mexico. And still to this day, no one knows where this dude's at. Might be back, maybe never came back, but never been caught for what he did. So crazy life, bro. Like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, you know, just the little bits and pieces that I've picked up from you on social media. You know what I mean? I knew I had an idea of your upbringing, but god damn, you were in it. You know what I mean?
It gets deep.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's wild. I mean, you know, there's so much of that going on today, and it's unfortunate. You know, 100%, so many lives lost. But you know, especially within the sport, I'm glad you're fucking here. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I know that the more successful you get, you know what I mean? The more kids you'll be able to talk to. You know what I'm saying? The more people you'll be able to reach, because there's a lot of people out here, you know what I mean, that need to hear stuff like this. You know what I mean? And that goes for all different kinds of stuff. You know, Nick, you know, there's people that need to hear, you know, stuff what Nick went through and stuff like that. And, you know, it's wonderful that we have somebody in Open that comes from, you know, this environment, because, you know, you guys inspire a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of adults.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, you know, the more successful that you get, I mean, the more you get to just spread that umbrella. And I know you got that motherfucking fire lit right now. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, goodness gracious. You know? That's some wild shit. And, you know,
that's why I get involved with kids, you know, as much as I do.
Yeah.
Like I used to work at a children's hospital,
Yeah.
you know, and they had me work in Boys Hall, and people were terrified to work Boys Hall. And when you relate to kids you have to watch,
Yeah.
you know, and like with these kids, you know, they would try to train us to talk to them like, why are you having a bad day today? What can we do to make it better?
Yep.
But I wasn't raised that way. And so when I would talk to them, they do some dumb shit. I would go, what the fuck are you doing?
Fuck is you doing?
Yeah, like, this is why you're fucking here right now. You know what I mean? And I remember my manager, he had asked me, because he was like, yo, the boys listen to you. What do you tell them? And, you know, there's some new staff coming on, and they want them to shadow me. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
You want me to act like y'all want us to, or be me, or whatever? They're like, well, whatever you do works.
Well,
so go ahead.
I mean, you're speaking their language.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know? And I knew as a kid, I grabbed my plate off the table early. You know, I had to grow up quick. These kids are doing similar things, you know, and they glorify it. So when they have someone in front of them who could say they done it, they have that respect to be able to talk to them differently, you know? And I let them get close to me thinking of a way of, I'm an OG. I'm your big, you know, I'm your big homie, and you're gonna listen to me. And then once I had them in that way, now I'm gonna chastise you like I would my son, and I'm gonna talk to you. You know what I mean? And then now, like, I still to this day, there's one who follows me on Instagram right now, and he'll reach out to me. I've changed so many of these kids' lives that didn't have a relationship with their parents, who are now, you know, best friends with their parents, who tells them everything. After I left there, because of staff, not even because of the kids, but because of the staff, I left. I went to the NPC West Coast Classic, and one of the kids lived in California, close to there, reached out to me and asked if I could come by, and I did. I went to his house. I met his mom, his dad. Mom actually cried for I don't know how long, just thanking me, you know, because the kid was back in school getting straight A's. He was working. He had a girlfriend. He's playing sports, you know. Another one of the kids that were there, he got out, went back to his family, taking care of his little one, because he had a kid, 15, 16, he had a kid. Went back to taking care of his family, and still to this day, he'll reach out to me. Fun fact, when I got into the motorcycle accident, I lost my phone. That kid's brother actually bought the phone from someone. When he opened the phone, the kid recognized me, and he calls me and brings me my phone back. So, you know what I mean? So imagine if I was the asshole to these kids, you know, that wouldn't have happened, you know? So having this relationship with them and them telling me how much they've changed, and them, hey, my graduation is this day, can you make it? And this is where it be at. And, you know, I think those are the blessings, you know. Bodybuilding is dope. I fucking love it. Winning shows are, you know, great. But when my son and his brothers can brag about me, because my oldest son has other siblings, but when they want to come and, run at me and play with me, because again, I don't look like a normal human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, my Elias's basketball team in middle school, I got to help him. His Pop Warner team, I got to help him. JoJo, talking to him about, because he was fighting in school. So me talking to him about that and just building that community right there is everything. You know, those are the blessings I count. Yeah. And it feels better than any win. It feels better than never stepping on the Olympia stage. I'm changing lives, and that's what it's about. I lost too much to the bullshit to just let it go ignored, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people know what's going on and they turn a blind eye to it. Just the other day, I seen kids, I was driving to the gym, and in the front, I seen kids getting ready to fight. None of my business. I don't know these kids either. Yep. But to get out and talk to them, hey, what are you guys really fighting about? Yeah. And let's think about this real quick. These are your friends? Yeah, they got my back. Then why they let you fight? Because now you're just entertainment. You're a circus. Yep. You're a monkey for them right now. And then they think about it, then it's like, damn. And then it's like, what you guys are really fighting about? Do you guys really want to hurt each other? Yep. Because by accident, someone could hit their head on the concrete right here and die. Your choice. 100%. And, it's, oh, shit. Okay, you're right. My bad. We'll just stay out the way. Now you guys walk that way, you guys walk that way. Cut the shit out. Yep. And I'll still see some of the kids, and every time they see my truck coming by, they're waving. You know what I mean? So I'd rather have a relationship building kids' poor past to a better future than even winning the Olympia. I mean, money comes and goes, Yep. Yeah, you'll have a title forever. That's cool too, but I can say I saved this kid's life also. Yep. Absolutely. So, I mean, I don't know. Ultimately, that's where my heart's at.
Well, check this out, Tonio. You're far more dynamic, deep than I could have imagined. You fucking with me on this platform means a fucking lot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to get this stuff off the ground, and it'll come. And I'm fucking glad you're fucking okay. You know what I mean? I'm glad you're still doing your thing. I know you have a bright future. That I wanted to talk about a few more other things, but I don't want to talk about nothing lighthearted. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I want to save the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like for the next one. You know what I mean? I just, the whole message going into all this stuff, and I knew at some point we would talk about this, and I'm glad that we did. But you know what I mean, bro? I fucking appreciate what you're doing, for the bodybuilding community, for me, for the kids. It's fucking commendable. And you know what I mean, bro. We have to do this again. Real quick. I'm gonna keep this brief before my battery die.
Got you.
So I have a friend, one of my old friends was in great shape, and the best shape I ever got in my life was one day he was like, let's do a challenge, best body by July. You know what I mean? And that always helped me, stay in the gym and whatnot. And I've never spoken or communicated with anybody, even to the degree of where you're at. You know what I mean? Physically, as far as getting rid of fat and building on muscle. So for my own motivation, I'm about 190 right now. Next time we talk by 2025, I'll be 173. You'll be able to tell it in my face. I'll put up a side to side. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you because you that guy. You know what I mean? I was telling my wife about that. I was like, I'm gonna tell Tonio. Tonio will get me off my bullshit. You know what I mean?
Damn. I'm gonna talk my shit too. So be ready.
I'm gonna take care of it. But Tony, you don't mind if I call you Tony, do you? Because that's like a short.
No, it's all good.
No, I mean that just rolls off the tongue very. You know what I mean?
Right.
Look, bro, I appreciate you telling me all this stuff about your life, about your story. More people need to hear it. You know what I mean? When I get my channel going, I'll make sure that I'm a part of pushing that out. I'm sure you'll take care of that yourself because you'll be. You know what I mean? But bro, I appreciate it so much, and we'll be in communication. Get healed up.
Oh, it's coming.
Get back, do your thing, bro, and till next time, Hoss. I appreciate it a whole lot.
Yeah, likewise.
All right, brother. But anyways, we'll chop it up.
Got you.
All right, Hoss. Thank you.
All right, bro.
If you